say, I quit!
Styles, Rhodes, and I Quit match for the undisputed WWE Championship.
They say a fate's coming to Scotland. And it's not your average scrap.
Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, live from Glasgow, Scotland.
You know where to find me.
Scan the QR code now for tickets to the epic clash at the Castle.
I called you out here to hand you the keys.
No! Don't do this, AJ! Styles, Lord Rhodes out here to do this.
I am going to make you say, I quit!
Styles, Rhodes, and I Quit match for the undisputed WWE Championship.
They say a fate's coming to Scotland. And it's not your average scrap.
Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest for the...
Then, now, forever. Together.
This is Glasgow, Scotland, and its university at the center of the city, the most populous city in the entire country. It is known for architecture, its vibrant media and music industry, and enjoys the largest port in all of Scotland. The city is located on the banks of the River Clyde in west central Scotland, 400 miles north of London, England. Now, Drew McIntyre's hometown of Ayr is just 40 miles to the southwest of here. And this is the Scottish Event Campus in Glasgow. And at the center of it all, the OVO Hydro. Fans have come from all over Europe, even the United States, to witness the first premium live event in the history of Scotland. An event anchored by this man, Scotland's hero, Scottish warrior Drew McIntyre, the first Scot to ever win a world title. Tonight, Drew hopes to win the World Championship in his homeland. For the man who stands in his way, Judgment Day's Damian Priest, the biggest match of his career, and his Judgment Day crew barred from ringside. Who will be world champion? We find out tonight. This is Countdown, the Clash at the Castle.
I told you a fate's coming to Scotland. A good old square go. The Scottish way, eh? Sorry, beaten.
It's gonna get rough. It's gonna get ugly.
Brutal. Unflinching. Ferocious. Never ever underestimate your opponent. The last thing you remember.
AJ! I'm not just gonna beat you. I am going to make you say, I quit!
All rise!
This is where the world will learn what Damian Priest is truly made of.
Us Scots, we're known for our temperance.
Damian Priest, I'm about to take your bloody title.
So So let's make a deal. You bring the crazy. We bring the fight.
Glasgow, Scotland, and the world. Are you ready to clash at the castle?
This is gonna be good.
And now, WWE presents Countdown to Clash at the Castle.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a pretty cool perspective here inside the OVO Hydro. Superstars will be doing this in a couple of hours, coming down the ramp, heading into the ring. We are here near ringside in just about 2 hours. I'll be sitting back there at ringside calling all the action for Clash at the Castle. I'm Michael Cole. Welcome, everybody. Former WWE champion, former Mr. Money in the Bank, Big E, with us here tonight. Welcome to Glasgow.
Thank you kindly. It is a pleasure to be here. But I have to be honest, I haven't seen a single drawbridge, a moat, a Bailey, which is a leveled courtyard. I'll take a bounce house at this point, a castle of some sort, please. Please!
You got to get out more. Meanwhile, former Universal Champion Kevin Owens, fresh off a match with Solo Sikoa last night on Friday Night SmackDown, is here. Kevin, how you feeling after last night?
Not the best. My lower back hurts a lot, but my spirits are high.
Is that
Randy's back, you know?
Is that the reason you couldn't get into a suit today?
No, this is just what
Got the tie,
Big E lent me a tie.
And you
Byron
look great.
Saxton
You look
wasn't here.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Nonetheless, we have plenty to talk about in this show tonight. There are so many championships on the line at Clash at the Castle. So let's get right to it. Let's show you the match lineup for Clash at the Castle, which is underway in about 1 hour and 55 minutes. It all starts, of course, with a match that Scotland is waiting for. Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior, against Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. The big caveat here, what'll happen to Damian Priest with the Judgment Day barred from ringside. Also, the WWE Women's Championship is up for grabs. Bayley against Scotland's own Piper Niven. And you know Chelsea Green will be wandering around as well. The Intercontinental Championship, Chad Gable trying to win his first singles title in WWE, takes on Sami Zayn, a very emotional story we'll get into here on the Countdown Show. Triple threat match for the women's tag team titles. The champs, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, to take on Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, and of course the team from Scotland, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And the undisputed WWE Championship is up for grabs tonight. Cody Rhodes defends against AJ Styles in an I Quit match. You win when your opponent utters the words, I quit. For more from here in Scotland about Clash at the Castle, let's check in with our broadcast colleague, Jackie Redmond.
Cole, what a monumental night for our Scottish superstars. You touched on where Drew McIntyre's from. How about Piper Niven? She grew up 35 minutes outside the city, got her start in the Scottish promotion, Insane Championship Wrestling, whose headquarters are right here in Glasgow. Alba Fire also spent time in that promotion. She's from 25 minutes outside the city, and Isla Dawn was born right here in Glasgow. She's got a ton of people coming tonight. She told me yesterday her family actually hasn't seen her wrestle live in almost 5 years. Going to be an emotional night for her. And then, of course, there's Drew McIntyre in our main event tonight. His career spans over 20 years. He's wrestled all over the UK and Scotland. He's had a huge impact on wrestling in this country. It's one of the reasons he was inducted into the Scottish Wrestling Hall of Fame just this week. I asked him this morning if he ever thought something like this could be possible for Glasgow. He said, Jackie, absolutely not. I never could have imagined this. I dreamt about getting to WWE, about winning a championship, but this is a dream I didn't know I could dream. But here we are. And you know, one more thing. It was less than 2 years ago we saw Drew take on Roman Reigns at Clash at the Castle over in Cardiff, Wales. We talked about that being a homecoming for Drew McIntyre. But that match took place 350 miles away from here. That, my friends, is a 6.5-hour drive. That is not Drew's home. When he steps into the ring here tonight in Glasgow, he will truly be on home turf. Over to you, Kathy. Jackie, I'm going to be honest, I didn't heard Drew McIntyre say that he's running off Scottish adrenaline this week. Well, I believe that's what we're witnessing right now. And I have to ask the fans, who do you think is going to bring home the World Heavyweight Championship tonight?
Drew McIntyre, he's bringing it home.
He's bringing home the belt to Scotland. You heard it here first. I'm going to go inside, give my eardrums a break. But in the meantime, send it back to you, Cole.
Thanks a lot, Kathy. And let's dive into things now for this World Heavyweight Championship match between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. I want to start with you, Big E, first, and talk about Drew McIntyre being here in Scotland, his homeland, and all the distractions that he's had to put up with over the past few days heading into the match tonight.
Yeah, well, I think on the surface, we tend to think you're coming home. This is a huge homecoming for you, and that can really buoy you. But I also think this can be a huge distraction. You know, I've seen Drew out and about, and of course you want to immerse yourself. You're back home, you're seeing your family, but now you're also dealing with ticket requests. You're dealing with all the people who want to see you when you're in town. Are you as laser focused as you should be? And of course, Drew should soak up all the beautiful things that come with coming home, but is your mind really set on doing all it takes to become world champion?
So, Kevin, I want to ask you, because, of course, you've gone back to Montreal a number of times to wrestle in your hometown, and I want to talk about your buddy Sami Zayn, because Sami actually uses going home to Montreal to help him and to aid him in helping him allow to win matches like he did just back in April with Chad Gable.
Yeah, obviously I've never been in that position to have a main event title match in my hometown, but Sami has. And I remember what it was like for him leading into that. But anytime we go home, it's very special, and it is stressful. Like for me, anytime my family comes to a show, I'm worried about them getting there, making sure they're okay with their seats, all that stuff. I'm sure Drew's going through a similar situation, but you know, being home, it's also, I've talked about this before, being home for us in Canada, or for him being home in Scotland, it's very different than, say, American wrestlers being in their hometown over in the US, because American wrestlers in WWE is a very common thing, but you know, I'm sure Drew would tell you, or Piper, all of them would say, becoming a WWE superstar from Scotland was probably as hard to picture as me and Sami becoming WWE superstars from Quebec. So anytime we go home, it's special, it's stressful, but the crowd usually makes up for it, you know?
So, Big E, let's talk about Damian Priest on the other hand. He's used the Judgment Day to help him defend his championship back at Backlash when he beat Jey Uso. But tonight, no Judgment Day at all. They will be barred from ringside. How does that fit into Damian Priest's mindset coming into the match tonight?
Right. And I'm glad we're talking about Priest, because I feel like a lot of the narrative has not been about Damian Priest. And I know what it's like to come in as world champion, and the narrative is about your other competitors. You know, I was in a match with 4 other people, and I was the world champion. You were in that match too. It was about everyone else.
I didn't do anything.
But you know what it's like to be in that position too, when you're world champion and everyone is talking about your opponent. So I think there's going to be a certain fire lit under him, knowing he doesn't have the crutch of Judgment Day to rely on, knowing that people are talking about Drew. Heck, Drew is voicing the opening promo package for this show where Damian is world champion. If that doesn't stir something up inside of you to know, hey, I got to bring my very best, I'm going to show you y'all should be talking about me, then I don't know what will.
And also, KO, Drew McIntyre's called Damian Priest a transitional champion, which never sits well.
No, I don't know why you'd be happy being called that. Also, I don't know if there's added pressure for Damian Priest, because last time he was home, he was in a big match situation against Bad Bunny, and he didn't win. You know what I mean? So now he's facing Drew McIntyre, who's in his hometown, or close to it, and his title's on the line, so I bet that adds to the pressure.
Our own Jackie Redmond had the opportunity this week to sit down with Drew McIntyre in a very candid interview. Here is the first part of that.
Recently, I had the opportunity to sit down one-on-one with Drew McIntyre, the man who will challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship at Clash at the Castle in his home country of Scotland. Drew McIntyre, thanks for doing this. How are you, man?
Marvelous. We're very close to Clash at the Castle. I'm cleared. Fighting for the world title. Perfect timing.
How much are you looking forward to this because it is home for you?
This wasn't an option when I was growing up to have a PLE in Scotland. It was always main event WrestleMania. I did that, won the title, that was cool. Won it just this past WrestleMania before I got screwed over, but the idea of main eventing the first ever PLE in Scotland is beyond a dream come true.
What does Scotland mean to you, ultimately?
I guess the best way to sum it up would be, I love music.
Yeah.
Sometimes it helps using lyrics to express myself. So let's use some lyrics from a Scottish
I
song.
love this.
It's called Caledonia,
Okay.
and that's a very poetic, romantic name for Scotland. Caledonia. That's the name of the song. So, Scotland, let me tell you that I love you. I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me. Now I'm coming home.
Wow, that was actually really nice.
Thank you. Warrior poet over here.
So Glasgow, when you think about Glasgow, what memories come to mind? What lessons did you learn there before you went on to travel the world and become WWE superstar Drew McIntyre?
I spent 4 years there at university.
Okay.
And most of the lessons I learned, I can't really talk about here, and they're not PG. But what I did learn that I can talk about is always speak your mind, always speak your truth. We're some passionate people in Scotland. Some people may not like what you have to say. And if somebody goes too far and runs their mouth, just give them a kiss between the eyes with your head, Glasgow style.
That adds up. That tracks, actually, for you. Not the first time you're competing at Clash at the Castle, but the night did not go the way that you had hoped. Can you take us back to that night and take us through your emotions of everything that happened?
I've never felt that kind of emotion from a crowd. It was 100% in my corner. This was my night. My family were all there. My friends were there. My people were there. And the elders sent Solo to screw me over. So that was a shot through my heart, a shot through my family's heart, and a shot through the whole of the United Kingdom. And I can't let that happen to the UK again.
Are you over that yet?
No, absolutely not.
Will you ever be over it?
No. I guess I didn't think about it. I tried to push it to the back of my mind, and sometimes things will flare them up, like when Jey Uso was moved to Raw and whatever, but that brought back those memories, and it's going on about 10 months. I'm still waiting for that apology. People are, oh, just get over it now. Yeet's fun to say, or whatever. As I maybe look back at the tapes, look back at history, people have such short-term memories now. Trauma doesn't go away that easily.
There's a lot in the last year that has upset you in WWE, and yet you just re-upped your contract with WWE. Why was it important for you to continue your relationship with WWE despite the fact that so much of what goes on tends to upset you?
To be completely truthful, I was considering taking time off at the end of my contract. I lost my sister-in-law, my wife's sister, and she was obviously struggling. My mother-in-law was struggling. And I went to a wedding back in Scotland, and I saw a lot of my family and seeing people that I don't see that often. And I don't see my dad often either. He's getting older, but seeing my nephews getting so big, seeing friends that I don't see often, and it hit me hard. And I was trying to figure out what the best thing to do for my career and my future was. And, my family and I sat down, my wife and I decided, okay, it's not time to leave the table. You don't leave when you're on a heater. But we got to figure out what's going to work for us and for my career. And thankfully, WWE were great about it. We figured out a situation that allows me to give as much as I can to my family, as much as I can to my career. And honestly, I'm so obsessive with this industry that it's good to have that balance, and it helps me operate at a different level.
You don't leave when you're on a heater. I like that. And right now, WWE, by most people's standards, is on a heater of its own. What do you make of the state of WWE right now in 2024, with everyone saying that it is white hot?
Everybody from top to bottom is absolutely killing it. People like yourself, doing your job to the highest level.
Thanks.
Our roster is genuinely on fire. We've never seen such a level of in-ring talent and people truly finding themselves as characters at one time. The matches are on a different level. The athleticism is on a different level. Just look at the numbers across the board. Signing billion-dollar contracts left and right. And it's up to us as a roster to get it done in the ring. And the only thing I see that needs improving is Raw and the World Championship with Damian Priest.
Still to come, Drew McIntyre delivers some hot takes on the man heel face at Clash at the Castle for the World Heavyweight Championship, Damian Priest.
If you take 1 second and look at our resumes, mine reads about 10 miles long, and his reads like a little notepad in a hotel room.
Okay, so here's the deal, guys. Drew McIntyre has got to get over it. He keeps going back to what happened to him at Clash at the Castle a couple of years ago. He keeps talking about how he gets screwed out of the championship. Kevin, how many times in your career have you been screwed out of a championship? You got to get back on the horse and stop making excuses.
Sure, but as someone who has a hard time letting go of things, I get it. I really do. And I was, he mentioned when Jey Uso came over to Raw, I was the same as him. I was very doubtful, and I remembered everything that the Bloodline had put me through. So I get it, but tonight's a big opportunity for him to get some redemption, obviously.
Yeah, and that's not the Drew we know, if we're being honest. He's not one to let grudges go. He holds on to things for better or worse. Maybe I could suggest some meditation could really be healing in his life. But I think it's really fueled Drew. And look, time is one of those things you can't get back in our industry. So many of us, we miss birthdays. He talked about the pain of missing his nephews grow up, all those things. And I think for Drew to come back, he's going to maximize his time here. I think he's laser focused. He's not coming back just to collect a check. He's coming back for world championships.
So, and Drew has this chip on his shoulder. I'm going to ask you, Kevin, is this a must-win tonight for Drew McIntyre in his homeland of Scotland, especially with the Judgment Day barred from ringside?
Well, even though I don't think it would be in terms of how the fans tonight would react if he doesn't win the title, for him, no doubt it's a must-win. He'll never forgive himself if he doesn't walk out of here champion.
Yeah, Yeah, not a chance. Yeah, he has to win, or I think it's one of those things that will weigh on him for the rest of his life if he doesn't walk away world champion today.
Drew has the home field advantage. Damian Priest told me yesterday during the kickoff show that he thrives in the atmosphere of being the big guy, of having the crowd not behind him, but behind his opponent. Damian believes he's going to win tonight.
Well, it's good for him that he thrives in that environment, because I don't think anybody likes him. So, working out great.
Well, as you see behind us, the WWE fans are filing in to the OVO in Glasgow, Scotland, here tonight for Clash at the Castle. They've been arriving throughout the day. They've been partying throughout the night as well. We are getting set for the first premium live event in the history of Scotland. Clash at the Castle countdown continues next.
Separate strong from the weak. I'm a beast, I'm a feast every day of the week, and I do not know defeat. Please, you know that I'm built like no other. You know that I'm built to go further. I'm a whole nother beast, I'm built.
Today only. Free shipping on qualifying orders.
I called you out here to hand you the keys.
No! Don't do this, AJ Styles. Lord Rhodes out here to do this.
I am going to make you say, I quit!
Styles, Rhodes, and I Quit match for the undisputed WWE Championship.
Scotland's such a pretty country, a beautiful city here in Glasgow. The cool thing about being here is the sun doesn't set until after 10 o'clock this time of year. I was in a pub last night. The sun was still out. It was incredible.
Yeah, I was driving back. Thankfully, wrong side of the road, but it was still bright out.
The arrival earlier today of the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn, ready to defend his title. An emotional battle with Chad Gable here tonight. Kathy Kelly, the opportunity to catch up with the Intercontinental Champion.
I'm here with Sami Zayn's challenger this evening for the Intercontinental Championship, Chad Gable and the rest of Alpha Academy. Now, Chad, in Montreal, you did have the massive opportunity and came up short. You came away with no championship from Montreal. So how is tonight going to differ?
Well, tonight, I got the family in line, okay? They're taking orders the right way that I've been asking them to this whole time. So you're going to see a whole different gameplay out tonight. Understand that. They're here, they know the plan, and they're going to help me win my Intercontinental Championship no matter what.
Well, before you guys leave, Maxine, I do want to address your injury. You are in a boot at the moment. How are you feeling both physically and emotionally?
She's fine. Look at her. You're fine, right? Tell her. She's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry about that. What you need to worry about is that Sammy's reign ends tonight. And it ends at the hands of my family. Maxine, Otis, and Where's Tozawa? I told you to keep track of him. He's gonna pay Monday.
Thank you so much for your time. Let's take a look at how we got here.
Tonight we are inside the Jeddah Superdome in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Sami Zayn defends in a triple threat match against Bronson Reed. And Chad Gable.
Stick with the plan. Remember what I told you when the time is right. Got it? Now's the time.
Oh! Gable called for the plan to go in.
What's it gonna take for you to wake up, huh?
Oh no! Otis inadvertently ran over his coach, Chad Gable.
Sami Zayn has got daylight.
There's the Helluva Kick. Sami retains.
Tonight belongs to Sami Zayn.
It's gonna be a long ride back to the States.
I've had enough. You lack discipline, Otis. I'm gonna show you discipline. I don't wanna do this. You made me do this.
Oh my goodness.
Now grab the rope. This is what happens when you bring shame to the Alpha Academy. This is gonna hurt me a lot more than it hurts you. I suggest you turn around right now.
What are you gonna do, Chad, huh? You have manipulated your way into opportunity after opportunity, and yet every single time you did, you came up short. You're the one who can't get the job done.
I would have got the job done if it wasn't for this idiot right here. So now he gets his discipline.
How much more of his crap are you gonna take? You know what the right thing to do.
Sami's days as the Intercontinental Champion could be numbered.
I have decided it has gone on long enough. This is about you and me.
Chad told us you don't deserve his time or respect tonight. The only way this ends is you giving me my Intercontinental Championship match.
If that's what it's gonna take to put an end to this, tell him he's got it.
Gable set this all up.
Why, Otis? Why? I can't figure out why you keep putting up with Chad Gable after everything he puts you through week in, week out.
What version of Otis will Sami Zayn face?
Stick with the plan, idiot.
Helluva Kick out of nowhere for the win. And now Gable again attacking Zayn.
Get out of my ring, get out.
Otis went right after Sami Zayn.
We're a family, and families stick together no matter what.
This is the Clash at the Castle countdown show. We're at the OVO in Glasgow. And Kevin Owens, Big E, and I'm Michael Cole here at the announce desk. WWE fans behind us having a great time here tonight. Let's dive into the Sami Zayn, Chad Gable story. Chad Gable has been obsessed with the fact that he hasn't been able to win a singles championship.
Yeah, look, Mike, I don't want to dismiss the talents of two incredibly talented human beings in Chad Gable and Sami Zayn, first ballot Hall of Famer, but this match really goes as Otis goes. And if Otis can get in line, I think very much of Dr. Frankenstein and his monster, very similar vibes. The thing is, you can create this monster to destroy your opponent, but don't be surprised when the leopard eats your face. It's a little saying that they say online. But You know, if he can get Otis in line, it's going to be a problem for Sammy. But if not, that could be Chad's undoing.
Stockholm Syndrome is the way that it's been described of what Gable has done now to Tozawa, Maxine, and, of course, Otis.
Yeah, funny enough, it reminds me a lot of Sammy and Roman not so long ago, which I was, privy to a lot of. But yeah, I don't have any fancy internet sayings to describe the situation, but things certainly seem to be going well for Gable and his crew. Right?
Well, here's the
Everything
problem.
seems pretty-
Here's the problem with Sammy, though, is why
There's a lot.
is
Which one? 'Cause
Well, why is Sammy sticking his nose in the Alpha Academy business? Why is he getting in the middle of this? Shouldn't he be concentrating on being the Intercontinental Champion?
He's got a very good heart, and he sees Otis in distress, and he wants to make sure that Otis gets to live his best life. He's a great man.
That's just Sammy's name to his core. He likes to help people. He likes to talk with his hands, and he moves a lot, and then he just wants to do good. And he ends up sticking his nose where it doesn't belong a lot.
So predictions now. Big E, who wins tonight?
I got Chad Gable. I think it's time.
Kevin?
I mean, I can't. I got to pick Sammy, otherwise I'll never hear the end of it.
That is true. Well, guys, in the United Kingdom, darts is the #2 sport behind football. Can you guys believe that? Well, nonetheless, just a few weeks ago, the International Dart League held their World Championships at a sold-out Madison Square Garden in New York City. During that time, WWE invited 2 of the greatest dart players in the world to the WWE headquarters to test their skills against WWE Tag Team Pretty Deadly.
I've never even been.
Come on. Brings me to Luke. Are you looking for a Pretty Deadly makeover? Nah. No.
Oh, it's 19! What now, Huh?
Professional dart players. What did you think was going to happen?
Hold me back, Elton. Hold me back. I want to be missing.
Get some darts going.
Dart me. Dart us.
Don't think about it, just throw them in the 20. Just go boom, boom, boom.
What he's telling you is you know what you need.
Yep. Oh, that's a 20.
Another one. Yes, boy, come on. Oh, that was really, really good. That's me. That's me and you.
Professional dart players do the same schedule as we do. I mean, they're on the road every week, all over the world, playing darts and never stop. As far as I can think of, we're the only 2 parts of sports and entertainment that do that, and the atmosphere is incredible.
Yeah, and the atmosphere, obviously the fans and everything.
Fans, yeah.
Get involved behind us with the darts, and they get involved.
They don't get involved behind these 2, but everybody else works
with the booing and stuff like that, and you know, so we get it in the same with the darts. What, 25?
So I just need an odd number to get us moving, yeah?
Oh.
No score.
Your highest
score.
Highest score.
I'm so upset as well. It was the best start I've played all day.
It don't mean anything. That's rude.
Doesn't mean anything.
Sorry.
Wait, Luke's coming in for the win.
Oh, that don't. You can't have Luke forward. Oh, come on.
Come on.
Littler, 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 littler. There we go.
Come on.
Well done.
You know what? It's all on me as well. I can only I've got to take the heat for that.
Champion.
Thank you very much indeed, fellas.
I know, money.
So,
I knew you could do it.
I knew Mr. Regal was into reptiles, but I didn't know he knew so much about darts.
I know nothing about darts. I don't know the rules. I don't get it. I need a whole... Are you a darts guy?
I have a dart board that my dad installed in my house recently. I haven't played yet.
The Nerf darts?
No, it's the electronic one that keeps count because I'm not big in math.
Not a math guy.
Not a math guy.
Well, let's switch gears now and talk about the undisputed WWE Championship being on the line tonight in an I Quit match. No rules. The only way you win is to beat up your opponent until he says, I quit. So let's talk about AJ Styles and the retirement ruse that he got Cody Rhodes to fall for and then force Cody into the championship. Cody actually asked for this I Quit match. Not sure how wise that is, Big E. Cody's never been in an I Quit match before.
Right. I think there should be a rule in wrestling. Never trust a man in a pastel suit who says he's going to retire. Don't do it. Don't you do it. I think, Cody might have made a mistake by simply saying the words, I quit. For people who remember Mankind and The Rock, that was used against Mankind. But this match is going to be gritty. It is going to be aggressive. I'm so excited for this one. But he's in different waters with this match.
AJ Styles 4-0 in his career outside of WWE in I Quit matches, Kevin.
Yeah, you know, another mistake Cody could have made is I saw he posted how his mom was along for the trip.
Yep, she is here.
We've seen people use family members of their opponents to get to win the I Quit match. So I don't know if that was smart. You could bring her, just bring your mom, just don't post about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And WWE fans are filing into the OVO Hydro here in Glasgow, making noise already, getting ready for Clash at the Castle. Now, some interesting statistics about I Quit matches. This will be the 26th in the history of WWE, dates back to WrestleMania, Bob Backlund and Bret Hart, WrestleMania 11. WWE champions are 4-2 in I Quit matches. The last time a WWE title changed hands was back in 2009. John Cena beat Randy Orton. Does that history bode well for Cody Rhodes, or does it mean a damn thing?
I don't know if it means much for Cody. You know, it's always, and Cody's quite a historian. I'm sure he's done his research as well. But I think AJ's taking this, he's ratcheted this up to another level, and I think Cody's ready to go to that level. It's going to require him to go an extra notch, but I think he's ready to go that extra level.
Kevin, AJ could not get the job done back at Backlash in France against Cody Rhodes. This may be his final opportunity at a WWE championship. It seems to me all the pressure's on AJ tonight.
It may be, but you know, I think the crowd in France had a lot to do with AJ not being able to pull it off. Because they were very distracting. You know, that phenomenal chant, it was too much. I don't know how these guys are going to be during that match, but as great as I think Cody is, and as much as I love Cody, I think AJ might pull it off tonight.
So Kevin Owens picking AJ Styles.
Sorry, buddy.
Wins.
I'm going with the American Nightmare.
I Quit match for the WWE Championship. Tonight, Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. Well, countdown to Clash at the Castle continues from the OVO Hydro in Glasgow here tonight. After this break, but first, let's take a look at the reemergence of fan signs and the culture that it has become once again.
Are signs back? Are they back? I think they're back.
It's not like they were ever, gone completely, but it does seem like over the recent year, people are bringing a lot more.
And hey, look, I mean, the fans always bring awesome energy and they bring a lot of really great creative signs. But it used to be, it was, borderline out of control.
But right now, I think the business is hotter than ever. And it's due to the fans. So now is the perfect time for them to bring back that sign life.
10-year-olds. I don't know what it is about this generation, but they are becoming very creative nowadays.
Mathematics.
Is that it?
Yeah, they use math to do it. Yeah.
Actually, a fun thing that happened at a show once, there's somebody that has a KO sign, but it's upside down. And I went like this, and the person understood and turned it, and you can see it on TV. People caught it.
That WWE sign guy, he came and he had a sign that said Zelina Vega's chanclas, and he had like 6 of them that he put on the thing at a live event, and he told me to take one, and I took it, and I started hitting Oscar with it.
Do you know what my favorite sign is I saw? Let me hear it. I saw one that said Austin Theory P's sitting down. Jeez.
Yeah.
Who wrote that? I don't know, but I've seen it a few times.
I think you wrote it.
I think signs should definitely be back. Signs are a big thing in wrestling, man.
Signs are back, and they should be better than ever. Being able to look out in the crowd and see fans with signs with your name on it is super cool.
When I go out there and come up on the buckle, typically I take a little time looking around. I'm not in my own head. I'm actually looking to see each and every sign just so that I can give them the acknowledgement they're giving us. John Cena always had this rule: if they make some noise, he's gonna do something. He's gonna try and rally, whatever it may be. And the signs, I feel the same way. If you take the time to do that and get as creative as some of the ones we've seen, I want you to know that we know.
They say a fate's coming to Scotland. And it's not your average scrap.
Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, live from Glasgow, Scotland.
You know where to find me.
Scan the QR code now for tickets to the epic clash at the Castle.
In front of 17,000 countrymen in Montreal.
Their love for me is so contagious. They have been with me, and I appreciate it to no end, really. Life goes fast, and so it's nice to just enjoy these moments.
Sami Zayn forever!
Pretty much my earliest memory was watching WWE with my dad. I always sort of knew it was what I wanted to do.
Sami Zayn is the new NXT champion! Sami Zayn and his best friend, Kevin Owens.
Very early on, we did dream about being tag team champions in WWE one day.
KO Mania and WrestleZania! It has all led to this point. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens win their tag team titles for the first time in their WWE careers.
As hard as we've worked to win these titles, you can rest assured that we will defend them with everything we have.
I've been thinking a lot about the last year I've had, and what I've done in the last year. It's been unbelievable, but nothing is certain in WWE.
For Sami Zayn, this is a big opportunity to establish himself.
I think if you talk to any contender in any sport, any athlete, when they talk about doing something and they come up short, there's a feeling of embarrassment. But every single time, this time included, that I've felt that feeling, it's always overtaken by a much stronger feeling, which is an unwavering belief in myself.
Sami did it! Sami's going to WrestleMania! Sami Zayn ready for the impossible task of knocking off Gunther, the most unstoppable Intercontinental Champion of all time.
I have never seen Sami doubt himself to the degree he has regarding Gunther.
If you don't change your mentality, you can't beat him.
Find that fire again. Bring it out.
Do you believe in miracles? Sami Zayn did it! Sami Zayn defends the Intercontinental title in his hometown against Chad Gable. Gable from behind! The pressure's gotten to him. Gable snapped.
What I did to Sami was justified. He knew that was my moment. That should have been me. But I was wasting my time training Sami Zayn.
Gable obsessed with the fact that he wants to win the Intercontinental Championship. Welcome, everyone, to the biggest event of the summer.
For more than 35 years, SummerSlam has delivered some of the most amazing moments in WWE history.
I am completely in shock right now.
And in 2026, we'll once again make history.
Fasten your seatbelts. It is about to go down. Let's go!
Working with Minnesota Sports and Events, we will expand SummerSlam to 2 nights. Saturday, August 1st and Sunday, August 2nd, 2026 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Live from the world-class US Bank Stadium, WWE will bring 2 epic nights of SummerSlam to the Twin Cities. So there's only one question to ask. Are you ready?
Hey, before we get to Minnesota, SummerSlam is taking over Cleveland this summer, and tickets are on sale now. But the only way to secure exclusive experiences and interactions with your favorite WWE superstars is with a WWE Priority Pass presented by On Location. Buy your package today to get access to premium seating, pre-show hospitality, and so much more. Full details at onlocationexp.com/WWE. We are live in that building, the OVO Hydro in Glasgow, Scotland, where later on tonight, one of Scotland's own will battle for the WWE Women's Championship. Here's a special look at Piper Niven.
To this moment forever. The moment that I could stand in front of my family, friends, fans, believers, non-believers, and say, I did it.
Piper Niven, not the woman to mess with.
I've been digging and clawing my way out of the trenches and putting Scottish wrestling on the map.
She's an incredibly talented athlete. She's dangerous as the day is long.
Some words I live by that my husband taught me. Let them know you were here. That's what I'm going to do tonight, and that's what I hope you're going to do tonight.
And again, Drew McIntyre, not the only star returning tonight. From just down the road in Kilburnie, Piper Niven and her sidekick, Chelsea Green, #1 contender for the WWE Women's title. Meanwhile, standing by with Kathy Kelly is the champ.
Yeah, Michael Cole, I'm here with your favorite superstar, WWE Women's Champion, Bayley. And first off, I have to say, happy birthday.
Okay, thank you.
I could start singing for you, but I'm going to assume that you want a celebration all the way through Clash at the Castle with a win tonight. But are you concerned at all that your challenger, Piper Niven, has this hometown advantage here in Glasgow?
Look, I know how special this is for her. I know how important it is to be in front of your home country, and I respect, like I said, I have respect for everything that Piper has done. She laid the foundation for pro wrestling and for WWE to get here and to be at this PLE tonight. I can appreciate everything that she's done, okay? But she's also the same person that's been attacking me for the past month. She's the same person who ran me and Naomi's head into this wall just last night, okay? And I'm not gonna let that slide, all right? I'm a champion and I stand for what I stand for, and this is what I care about. I care about the WWE Universe, and tonight, I'm gonna beat Piper Niven, and I'm sorry it's gotta be in front of her friends and family, but I gotta do what I gotta do too.
Well, I know you have a lot to prepare for tonight. I was gonna toss it back to Michael Cole, but I was hoping that you could do the honors.
Yeah, sure. Dear Michael Cole, back to you, you idiot. Was that good? Was that good?
I told you loved me. I told you Bayley loves me.
It seemed unwarranted.
No, she really does. I mean, that's just this facade she puts on.
Facade, great word.
Nonetheless, Bayley's in action tonight. She will defend the WWE Women's Championship against Scotland's own Piper Niven. Let's take a look at how we got here. Bayley versus Piper. Clash at the Castle.
I feel so damn proud to call myself WWE Women's Champion. Now you guys know this isn't my first time being a champion, but this one feels so damn special because I get to call myself a champion for this brand new, exciting era. This championship represents more than just being the best. This represents the most talented locker room I've ever been a part of. You guys never gave up on my vision, and I thank you so much.
Oh, wait a minute! Piper Niven just flattened the champion. Piper Niven has fire in her eyes and malice in her heart.
Just shows how devastating Piper Niven can be.
And Piper's not done.
Bayley's got something the rest of the roster wants, that WWE Women's Championship.
At Clash at the Castle, I faced Piper Niven for the very first time.
In Niven's home country, Glasgow, Scotland, Bayley defends the WWE Women's Championship against the Scottish bone crusher Piper Niven.
And you're gonna be a loser yet again when Little Miss P finishes you.
This this means more than just a title match for you. I know what it means to wrestle in front of your family. It means everything. So as much respect as I have for you, Piper, I'm gonna have some damn fun beating you.
I'm so glad that you have this respect for me and my journey. If it wasn't for the fact that you know nothing about me and my journey, I've been digging and clawing my way out of the trenches. So while you walked into a ready-made scene, dishing out hugs and high fives, I was busy being a trailblazer. And if you had any idea just how dangerous I really am, you wouldn't dare stand so close to me. And you can respect me all you like, but it won't stop me from drilling your head into the mat and taking that title off you.
Home field advantage belongs to the challenger. What a collision this is gonna be.
No one ever sees it coming when the house lights kill the party, and I'm gunning for a little bit more. Hitting hard like Sarah Connor, Ripley and Madonna, baby, I got what you're looking for.
Well, look who the cat dragged in.
Oh, is that how you announce your favorite superstar, Mr. Mikey Boy?
Piper Niven's valet, Chelsea Green, joining us here at Classic.
You said sidekick earlier,
Yeah.
and now you're saying valet. We are two peas in a pod, okay?
Okay,
We
so
are chocolate and vanilla.
by the way, nice match last night on SmackDown.
Ugh.
And then number two, what is this we stuff? What is the we stuff?
Oh, I
you
get
said-
it. You don't have any healthy relationships in your life.
No, but
so
you
you
said
don't
if-
understand what a we is.
You said if Piper wins the championship, that it's going to be your title. How is that
yes,
possible?
like I said, we are two peas in a pot. We are sisters. We are best friends. We are two little spicy margaritas. We are going to win the championship tonight. Isn't that how a healthy relationship works, boys?
Well, actually, I was once Universal Champion, and I was also friends with a Canadian who we'd say we won the title together. It wasn't true. I won the title.
And there is some precedence.
And it was it ended terribly.
Layla and Michelle McCool, you know, they split the title.
They would split-
right.
This
Actually
is
split it.
never going to end. So it will not end terribly because it's never going to end because little Miss P and I are going to be together forever.
So let me ask you a question, Chelsea. Seriously, how ready is Piper for this match tonight in her homeland?
Piper was born ready, but also she has me in her corner, which means she is absolutely ready for tonight.
Big E, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked you about Drew earlier. So much pressure on Piper here in her homeland tonight. Will she be able to pull it off?
I think so. She does. You know, look, Chelsea has a lot of, let's say, unenviable qualities, but she is one hell of a friend, and I think having the support, Piper in interviews has credited you, Chelsea, I will give you credit, for helping her feel more comfortable, for supporting her. So I think with that support,
For giving her
oftentimes
confidence,
that
for making
gives
her
you what
feel
you need. yes.
beautiful, for making her feel rich and skinny and tan and sexy. That's what a partner does. We are going to win the championship tonight.
Okay, don't you have to run along and do something
I
else
actually
right
have
now? Because we
nowhere
have to
to
continue
be.
the Clash at the Castle countdown. Goodbye. Nice seeing you. Good luck tonight. Well, you know,
We'll be talking later, Mikey boy.
many superstars have come from the shores of the United Kingdom, but perhaps none have made more of an impact in professional wrestling than this Scottish WWE Hall of Famer.
As WWE heads across the Atlantic to Glasgow, Scotland for Clash at the Castle, bringing with it a barrage of superstars from Cody Rhodes to Sami Zayn to Bayley, I can't help but think of Scotland's true prodigal son in WWE lore. And no, I'm not talking about Drew McIntyre. I'm talking about the Hot Rod, Rowdy Roddy Piper. Now, yes, it's true. Piper was actually born in Canada. but you'd be forgiven for thinking Roddy was a native son of Edinburgh or Glasgow. Sporting the iconic tartan kilt, making his ring entrance to the sound of bagpipes, Hot Rod exuded a one-of-a-kind swagger.
90,000 plus on their feet for the Hot Rod.
As a fan, what made you fall in love with Roddy Piper wasn't the big matches or championships he won. Though make no mistake, he won his share. And it wasn't his bruising in-ring style that was showcased in his battles with the likes of WWE Hall of Famers Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Greg the Hammer Valentine, or even Mr. T. No, what made you fall in love with the Rowdy one was the way he held a microphone in his hand. Because on the mic, Piper simply could not be touched.
Hello, peasants. You know what? You both stink. How you doing, fatso? You do not throw rocks at a man who's got a machine gun.
I'm Roddy Piper and you're not.
Roddy could make you stand and cheer.
Yo, Mr. Donnie, give me that smoke, would ya? Yeah.
Or he can make you want to riot.
You're coconut.
But at all times, Piper made you care.
Just when they think they got the answers, I change the questions.
And tonight in Glasgow, the question on Roddy Piper's mind would be, who's going to step up and etch their name in history at Clash at the Castle?
Kevin Owens, how many superstars idolized Roddy Piper and wanted to be just like him?
Yeah, countless of them. I actually got to be in the ring with Roddy Piper before my time in WWE, and it was pretty amazing. Of course, he put me in the sleeper hold, and then I lost consciousness, but
naturally,
still nice.
Man, there's a certain intensity, a certain authenticity that I think Piper had that we're all trying to chase. You know, he influences all of us to this day.
Yeah, nobody like him.
And again, being at Clash at the Castle in Scotland, just so many memories going back all the way to the WrestleManias of the early days. I mean, Piper just left a mark on this business that is going to be hard to ever top, especially, as Peter Rosenberg said in his piece, his ability to deliver a promo. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, there was something, just the way he talked, the tone he used, you were just captivated from the moment he opened his mouth.
And you believe every single thing he says, every single time out.
Well, the WWE fans are filing into the OVO Hydro. We've got some behind us already. Are you guys ready? They are ready for Clash at the Castle here tonight. Fans are still filing in. We're going to be jam-packed here tonight in the city of Glasgow. Well, tomorrow is Father's Day in the States and also here in the United Kingdom. Many proud dads in WWE, including Big E's pal, Kofi Kingston.
You know what? Every parent can agree that kids, they are your pride, they are your joy, but they definitely have a tendency to test your patience and at times your sanity. Now, early in my parenting career, I learned that the hard way. April of 2013, my wife and I had our first son. We were kind of scared to leave the house because, you know, you're responsible for this life. And 4 weeks after he was born, we ended up taking him to the mall. So it was a big deal that we were going out to actually do something. We realized, hey, we left his diaper bag in the car. Should we go back and get it? And we're like, oh, whatever, it should be fine, this should be quick. Now my wife wanted to try on some dresses, so I'm holding my son. Sure enough, start to hear his stomach rumbling. He starts pooping in his diaper. His diaper overflows. Now, if anyone has seen baby poop when they're newborns, it's not like adults, okay? It almost looks like vodka sauce. You know, if anyone is a pasta connoisseur out there and you've had pasta with vodka sauce, that's what it looks like. It's orange, and it's all over my white shirt, which is a custom shirt, so I start flipping out. I go to the changing room. Hey, guy's pooping. He's pooping everywhere. She opens the door and she has a brand new dress on. I got this poop all over me, I need to get it off. So I hand Kai off to her and I'm running to the bathroom to try and clean it off. And all of a sudden some kid walks in, he's staring at me. God forbid he's a wrestling fan, he realizes, hey, this is Kofi Kingston, what's he doing in the bathroom? Did he have an accident? So I say to him, hey man, did you poop all over your parents when you were a baby? And he's staring at me like I have 3 heads, and he looks at me and he's just like, that's poop? So now I've outed myself. So I'm trying to scrub it off. The kid's looking at me all weird. I gotta get out of there again. And now I go back to my wife. She hands Kai off to me. I'm gonna take him outside to go and get the diapers so I can go change him in the car. I'm going down the escalator, people are going up the escalator and just like staring at me because I have this mess on my shirt. My son is being great, by the way. He's not crying or whatever, he's just enjoying life, and he starts smiling, almost as if to teach me the lesson to never go out in public without your diaper bag. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. It was a lesson that I will not forget. I won't forget it.
Kevin, I don't miss those days. I don't miss those days.
Me neither, but the Titus O'Neil bit just killed me.
Yeah, you really enjoyed that.
Oh.
Yeah, that really got you.
Nonetheless, happy Father's Day to everyone out there, of course, celebrating tomorrow, not only in the United States, but also here in the United Kingdom. And I'm excited I'm going to be able to get home for Father's Day.
Yeah, I'll be with my kids too. Happy Father's Day to my dad as well.
Yeah, to all the great dads out there. You know, I was really touched by the Jey Uso. I don't know if you saw that. I think around WrestleMania time, he was able to bring his son back. And he talks so much about how we're on the road all the time. And you're always putting smiles on other kids, you know, other families' faces and other kids. And being able to do that for your own family sometimes when you're gone so often is hard. So shout out to all you dads who are gone so often but come home and are great dads.
Have a great Father's Day. Well, coming up still is Damian Priest defending the World Heavyweight Championship, of course, against Drew McIntyre. But coming up next, our own Jackie Redmond continues her very candid and controversial interview with the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Drew McIntyre is here next on the Clash at the Castle Countdown.
On November 2nd, the world will witness the greatest. The greatest event of the season.
The world is talking about Crown Jewel.
The whole mindset of ECW was to revolutionize professional wrestling. It was us against the world. It just became unsustainable.
WWE Legends. New episode tomorrow at 8. Part of WWE Superstar Sunday. Only on A&E. Watch next day on the A&E app.
Longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion. Ever Grand Slam Women's 2024 Royal Rumble winner. Damn, I'm good.
You don't have to appreciate the attitude she possesses, but you have to respect the accomplishments of Bayley.
Whether it's NXT, Friday Night SmackDown, or Monday Night Raw, I am your role model. Ding dong.
From San Jose, California, Bayley.
Since the age of 11, Bayley has dreamt of competing as a WWE superstar.
I don't see my lifelong fandom for WWE as a negative. I've always wanted to be a WWE superstar.
Wrestling is the most amazing sport I've ever seen. It is everything you could ever imagine all into one. Everything about the atmosphere of WWE gave me butterflies. I want to make sure that everybody feels as much joy as I feel being able to live my dream and put a smile on their face.
What on earth?
Bayley's slaughtering her trademark. Bayley's undergone some sort of metamorphosis.
Bayley wins the title.
Screw all of you.
A complete change in personality from Bayley.
There's just something about Bayley that can't be taught, can't be produced, can't be touched. And that's right, no one past, present, or future could beat me. I've beaten everyone.
She has won every title available in WWE. The NXT Women's Championship, the Raw Women's Championship, a 2-time SmackDown Women's Champion, a Tag Team Champion, a Money in the Bank winner. Bayley has accomplished it all.
Bayley has been dominant. And I remember the first day Bayley arrived in WWE. She is a different competitor. She is a different woman.
The Royal Rumble, the one event that has eluded Bayley throughout her career.
This right here is history. 63 minutes and 3 seconds.
Bayley's going to WrestleMania! Bayley forming the group Damage Control only to have them stab her in the back, which leads us to tonight. She has an opportunity to win the WWE Women's Championship. Rose Plant! Bayley did it!
I'm quickly reminded what it's like to be a champion. You always got a target on your back.
Bayley has never lost the love, the passion that it takes to succeed in this business.
Piper Niven has set her sights on the gold, leaving Bayley with danger coming from all angles.
Don't worry, Bayley. I'm taking that title off you.
You jumped me from behind, so guess what? Next week in your home country, I'm gonna have some damn fun.
There's one thing that's not going to change, and that's me as your WWE Women's Champion.
Well, just over 3 days ago, the Smashing Pumpkins took over OVO Hydro Arena. Drew McIntyre was in attendance for that concert. Tonight, he goes from spectator to headliner as he, along with 3 other Scottish superstars, look to become champions in front of their home fans on home turf at Clash at the Castle.
I told you a fight's coming to Scotland. A good old square go. The Scottish way, eh? Sorry, a beating.
It's gonna get rough. It's gonna get ugly.
Brutal. Unflinching. Ferocious. Never ever underestimate your opponent. The last thing you remember.
AJ! I'm not just gonna beat you. I am going to make you say, I quit!
All rise!
This is where the world will learn what Damian Priest is truly made of.
Us Scots, we're known for our temperance.
Damian Priest, I'm about to take your bloody title.
So let's make a deal. You bring the crazy. We bring the fight.
Glasgow, Scotland, and the world. Are you ready to clash at the castle?
This is gonna be good.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the countdown to Clash at the Castle. I'm Jackie Redmond, tagging in Michael Cole as he gets set to call tonight's action. Very happy to be alongside the
Feels
two
lower
of
than
you.
you guys.
Oh, you don't like your chair.
I feel way lower, but it does spin.
It does spin, spinning. Listen to the quality. Happy to be alongside you, Kevin Owens, fellow Canadian. I know this isn't the KO show, but I do appreciate you bringing your charm and good wit to the panel.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's a
Glad
really
to
nice
have
start,
you.
right? Very Canadian. And of course, to my far right, the best hips in WWE. Big
Thank you.
E.
I'm sitting right now, so I can't really show them. Oh, the people remember. They still remember. I love them
even
here.
sitting down.
I can still swivel. You're right. You're right.
It
I
might
can
be
swivel
even
down
more
here.
impressive when you're sitting down. Mesmerizing.
They still work. The hips still work.
They definitely do.
Yeah, that you've not lost your touch in the hip department. But we, of course, are making history here tonight in Glasgow, the first ever premium live event to be held here. You guys have wrestled all over the world. Every crowd is different. Every place is unique. What stands out to you about your time wrestling in the UK and the fans here?
Well, obviously, we don't come to the UK as much as we go. We have shows in the US, so every time we come, it's a little bit more special to the people here. I was in the ring last night in front of everybody, and I had a very tough opponent. No backup because of the actions of the bootleg bloodline. You saw what happened. Street Profits were taken out, but I felt like I had, 13,000 people behind me, and that really helped out. A great crowd, and I think they'll be even crazier tonight, so I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Several years ago, I was here, I believe in this very building. For some reason, me and my two cohorts, Kofi and Woods, were dressed as, for the movie Braveheart, and I tried to deliver the very famous speech. I stumbled at the end, but I love Glasgow so much because even though I clearly forgot they were behind me, they supported me, they didn't judge me. Beautiful people here in Glasgow.
They certainly are, and they've been filing into OVO Hydro here as this countdown continues. We are less than an hour away from Clash at the Castle. You can feel the energy amping up in here a little bit. And in case you forgot, here's what's on tap tonight in Glasgow, Scotland. My goodness. I got 2 words for you. I quit. The question is,
already?
Who will save them? I can say it, KO. They don't really want to say it. Cody Rhodes taking on AJ Styles, undisputed WWE Championship on the line. And happy birthday is in order for Bayley. She hopes to celebrate tonight by retaining her WWE Women's Championship against Scotland's very own Piper Niven, who has said a few times leading up to this match, Bayley has no idea how dangerous she is. And it is a rematch between Sami Zayn and Chad Gable, and best believe it is personal. It's about the Intercontinental Championship, but it's also become a lot about the Alpha Academy. Otis expected by Chad Gable to help him win this championship, and it's a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair have been champs for 6 weeks. They don't have to actually lose this match or be pinned in this match to lose those titles. And last but certainly not least, Damian Priest said yesterday at the kickoff press event he's never needed the Judgment Day to win. Tonight he's got a chance to prove that. They are banned from ringside as he takes on Scotland's Drew McIntyre, the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. I did have a chance to chat with Drew earlier this week. We aired part 1 of that interview earlier in the show. Here's part 2. In part 1 of our interview with Drew McIntyre, we talk about what the last few years have been like for him, plus competing in his home country of Scotland. Now, Drew and I will discuss not only his opponent at Clash at the Castle, Damian Priest, but also the criticism he's recently endured for his polarizing words and actions. What do you say to certain critics who look at your actions combined with your words and call you a hypocrite?
There's a lot of people doing that recently, and the top of the list, the one I look at, is Michael Cole.
Many would say that he is a whiner, that Drew McIntyre is bitter, that Drew McIntyre is a hypocrite.
Using his position of power in a way that is just irresponsible. He's the voice of WWE. He was shouting my praises during the pandemic. When others left, I was there. I gave absolutely everything. You know, he said himself, Drew held this place together. He gave everything he had. I always say it wasn't me, it was a team effort. We all worked together during that difficult time. Then as soon as I go a different path and go, listen, I know you like this person and like this person, but it doesn't mean they're right. I'm doing what I believe to be right for every single one of us, even if it means I'm presented as a bad guy. I don't care. If you want me to be the bad guy, say hello to the bad guy.
Well, let's talk about the last couple of years for you. You mentioned the pandemic, helping carry the company with the rest of the roster. You have a championship
and backstage and everybody else.
Right?
Together.
You have a championship then, but there's no fans. You win the World Heavyweight Championship this year at WrestleMania, but then you lose it immediately after. I mean, it seems like every time you achieve your goal of carrying championship gold in this company, something goes wrong. Do you think it's made you bitter at all?
It's not made me bitter. It's made me stronger. Some of the examples you gave, one of those examples would have crushed most other people. They would have given up, they'd have cracked, they'd have fallen down the card, they would have left the company, it would have affected them mentally, not me. I knew I was ready for anything. Give me the world title, put the ball in my hands, put the company in my back, I can handle it all. No one's ever handled a time like when the world shut down. It's what are we gonna do? We need to try and throw things against the wall, see what sticks. And I was like, I'm still the guy for the job because nothing can faze me. And I've still got that same mentality today. When I get the title this time in Scotland, it's gonna be absolutely perfect. And all the hard work's gonna be worth it.
So let's talk about that match. In order to become the World Heavyweight Champion, you have to beat Damian Priest. What do you think of Damian?
I've watched Damian's evolution from NXT. And I saw somebody that clearly had a massive upside, and I know his backstory, and I know he's had to struggle and overcome to get to where he's at now. And I respect the journey, I respect the hustle, and I respect the talent. But sometimes I feel like he's playing the role of a champion. I can see it in his eyes that he's finding himself, but he's not quite there, and he'll try and throw some lines in there, like recently mentioning my wife or whatever, because he's looking for the ooh, or some crowd buzz, or a cheap pop from the audience. Or
You think he's focused on the wrong things?
He's absolutely focused on the wrong things. I've tried to tell him that, but then he tried to make it personal. He tried to, be ooze machismo and play this guy that he's not, when I was genuinely trying to help him. But he's gonna act like that, so I'm not gonna help you. I'm just gonna take the title off you. I'm gonna embarrass you. And he'll still do well. He'll still win matches. He'll still be right here. That's the problem with Damian Priest, is he hit his potential right as Drew McIntyre was starting to scratch the surface of his. And, I've been around for a long time, and so has he, but I've been around WWE for almost 20 years, and I'm still 3 years younger, and I'm gonna surpass him in every possible way.
Do you think you and Damian are similar in any way?
Absolutely. We're both very driven, but unfortunately, if you take 1 second and look at our resumes, mine reads about 10 miles long, and his reads like a little notepad in a hotel room.
Finish this thought. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship at Clash at the Castle will be
epic. On that night, everybody's Scottish. We're proud of our own, and one of our own is gonna win the world title.
Well, Drew, I'll give you this. You are certainly strong in your convictions. Thank you for this, and best of luck at Clash at the Castle.
No, they don't need it, but thank you. Warrior mentally, warrior physically.
Well, whether or not you think Drew McIntyre is the quote-unquote bad guy in this situation, he has put himself in a pretty advantageous situation in this match because the Judgment Day is banned from ringside. How big of an advantage is that for Drew?
Obviously, it's a massive advantage. I was a victim of Judgment Day and the numbers game they bring many times.
Many.
Yeah, you could throw a couple more on there. So for them not to be ringside for this, not to be allowed ringside for this, is huge for him.
Yeah, and you've been beefing with Samoans and Tongans for what seems like the better part of
4
a decade.
years.
Yeah, a long
Except
time.
for like a 6-month period where Judgment Day was, but otherwise, yeah, it's been a while.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate the sympathy.
Right, but not having those distractions there, obviously, just being at 1v1 is going to make things a lot more straightforward for Damian going into this match.
Well, Drew claims he's not bitter. I beg to differ.
Yeah,
The
he's
question-
lying. That's a lie. He's so bitter.
Yeah,
so
right?
bitter.
Here's the question, though. Does his bitterness serve him?
I think so. There's certain people who are fueled by spite. I don't know if he's the same Drew McIntyre without that spite. So if it works for him, it works for him. I think at some point that's going to burn you out. But at this point, I still think that motivation is what Drew needs. I think it fuels him.
Well, I'm excited to see how he's received here tonight in Glasgow at OVO Hydro Arena. I mean, this is his home turf, really and truly, for this match. So I'm sure he will be well received when he comes out. He's had a very busy week. He was inducted into the Scottish Wrestling Hall of Fame a few days ago. He's been all over Scotland making the rounds. Meanwhile, before his opponent, Damian Priest, was able to come over to Scotland. Is something happening? No, I didn't think so. Before he made his way over to Scotland, Damian Priest took in the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York City. Let's take a look.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Welcome to the 67th Annual National Puerto Rican Day Parade. I'm excited for today. I believe we should all be proud of wherever we come from. The day for us Puerto Ricans to show the world our culture and our flag and our style. Since I was a kid, this was always something that I look forward to every single year.
Very cool. Zelina Vega also featured in that package. Shout out to her. But a huge match tonight for Damian Priest. He said yesterday at the press kickoff event he's never needed the Judgment Day to win anything. Tonight he'll have a chance to prove that, KO.
That's pretty incredible because he's used Judgment Day to win for about a year now.
Yeah.
So it was just happy coincidences every time, I guess.
Apparently, yeah. Tonight we shall see if that maxim holds true.
Biggie, let me ask you this, because when we look at the Judgment Day, right, there's so much going on around the Judgment Day. I mean, what is Carlito doing? Is he in? Is he out? Is he a pledge? Like, what is his role? Liv Morgan's trying to seduce Dom Mysterio. Rhea Ripley has been missing in action. They've only got one title in their hands right now. It is the World Heavyweight Championship. When you look at some of these cracks or issues that the Judgment Day has been facing, does it feel like in any way that maybe the future of the Judgment Day rests in the outcome of this match?
I think so. There are a lot of cracks right now, a lot of fissures in the foundation, and I don't think they can sustain a loss like this. I think it'll be devastating for the Judgment Day. So I think they desperately need this win tonight to stay intact, to prove that Damian Priest is truly a world champion worthy of carrying that title month after month after month. Getting there is great, but holding that title, as you know as well, KO, is the difficult part because now that proverbial target is on your back.
Yeah, you know, him retaining the title could also prove to be too much for Judgment Day because when one member of a group is a champion, you can't help but get some jealousy. I think the only time a group didn't fall apart after, you know, one of their members became champion was the New Day.
Thank you.
Stayed true and strong.
Stand together, do it all.
Nice pull by you.
Yeah.
And
the hits. There they are.
Well, listen, the fans here in Glasgow, Scotland are clearly very excited as they chant once again, New Day rocks. And it feels like a good time since we are making history here in Glasgow tonight to take a look at the history of wrestling in the UK.
Introducing from Blackpool, England, William Regal.
My earliest memories, wrestling was up there above anything else. And from that moment on, I wanted to be a wrestler. Adrian Street, Steve Logan, Johnny Saint. There was also attractions like Giant Haystacks. My mentor, Johnny Saint, just said to me, come and start training with me. So I was working for a smaller wrestling company and going over and training with him. Without him, I wouldn't be here. Watching these pioneer wrestlers getting in the business and getting trained by them, and then by the time I was 18, I became good enough to get booked overseas. That brought me to America. British heavyweight style was very technically sound, very hard-hitting. No messing about wrestling, and it was a very protected business. British wrestling is actually based on catch wrestling. The holds and the different throws. It's mostly based off submission wrestling.
Unorthodox leg hold on him.
A very hard business to get in. And rightly so, to protect the strength of this industry. I have a great fondness, obviously, for the European and British talent because I know how hard it is to get noticed from there, and to actually get into America and staying in America is another thing altogether. Drew McIntyre, just a credit really to everyone because he's worked so hard and he's just overcome so much.
Clash at the Castle. Who's ready for a new world heavyweight champion?
Very happy for both Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, two Scottish ladies, done everything that they had to do to get into this job and survive in this job.
We're not going to wait around for chances, we're going to take them.
Your new WWE Women's Champion.
Piper Niven, another lady. done everything she could do in Europe, Japan, anywhere she could go to make a name for herself. But they're getting to represent Scotland on a worldwide stage.
Clash at the Castle returns live from Glasgow, Scotland.
I don't need to tell the fans of Glasgow how to bring it. They know how to bring it. Not only getting PLE, but getting homegrown superstars. Drew was the first person to come here, so to have a PLE in Scotland with Drew headlining it, there'll be a few more of the Scots on there. That must be incredible for them. They're going to just bring so much energy to the talent. The fans in Glasgow are going to be ecstatic.
Well, Scotland's very own Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are the home team tonight in a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. They told me Monday they've been saving their best for Glasgow. They'll need it against the likes of Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, who are looking to earn the respect they say they deserve from the division. On that note, let's check in with Kathy Kelly.
Jackie, it looks like you guys are having a blast out there. I was hoping to get you guys an interview with the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, but it seems like there's a heightened energy backstage. A lot of superstars very stressed out about tonight, whether it's the jet lag. Jade Cargill said that she lost her bags in transit, so they've got a lot of elements. The biggest obstacle of all being a triple threat match, meaning that they could lose tonight to potentially two other tag teams and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn have the hometown advantage here in Glasgow, so you never know what could happen out here tonight. Jackie, back to you. And Kevin, you are looking quite dapper this evening with that tie.
Thank you. Thanks. You're not wrong. Piper has the hometown advantage too, so.
There's a lot of Scots on this card, and the fans will be very excited to cheer them on as we inch closer and closer to Clash at the Castle. Fans continue to file into OVO Hydro. We are about 36 minutes away from everything getting underway in a historic night here in Glasgow, Scotland.
We are built from the ground up in Scotland. We're very proud. We're very proud to be Scottish. We've always been a fighting people. We will take anybody on. One of their own, step into anything. Every single one of us shows up. We're representing them on a very big stage. We'll walk out with the championships. We're coming to take over WWE in our hometown, and the full of Scotland will be chanting and cheering for us.
When you spend your whole life surrounded by legends, raised by the bloodline I was, you dream to follow in their footsteps.
Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, Rikishi's sons.
You want to honor those who paved the way.
New tag team champions, the Usos win the gold.
And do your heritage proud.
The longest reigning tag team champions of WWE.
Walking alongside the head of the table was a privilege.
Jey Uso, the right-hand man.
But fate dictates when you control your own destiny. You're done with all the disrespect. Sick of being pushed around. Then once you've earned your respect, there's only one place you deserve to be.
Main event, Jey Uso has the WWE fans on their feet.
When Jey Uso is in the main event, he has an extra gear.
Jey Uso said he is starving and he is ready to eat.
It feels good to be out the bloodline, to be on my own. I did some things in the past, might have created some enemies back there, but you know where to find me, because it's just me, Oos.
He has a lot to prove to the world, and he's fighting for his legacy.
R-Truth. Brother versus brother. For only the third time in WrestleMania history, brothers battle. Jay wins the Usos Civil War. Honey, you. Now I'm eating every Monday night, baby. Heat with me. So how about you catch this beat down? Excuse me, I mean yeet down. How could you not be yeeting? I've never felt anything like this. Like the walls are moving. Yeet!
You can count me in on the yeet train because I have been a believer in main event Jey Uso since he became main event Jey Uso.
My whole life, I've been fighting for other people. From here on out, I'm just fighting for me now. My legacy. Before the bloodline, before the dance, before the face paint, there was just me, Oos. I proved to the whole world. I proved to my family. I proved to myself why they call me main event Jey Uso.
A&E biography, WWE Legends, will center around ECW tomorrow night. The promotion, which launched in the 90s, was known for its hardcore wrestling style and was once famously under the creative control of Paul Heyman. Here's a sneak peek.
Even after ECW closed its doors, fans did not want to accept that ECW was over. So we had to do it one more time.
Rob Van Dam is the one that pitched the concept of One Night Stand. A one-night reunion with all the original guys, an authentic presentation of ECW, and give the brand some closure.
4.5 years since the end of ECW, and tonight you are witnessing ECW One Night Stand.
I loved One Night Stand. I thought it was such a great idea. The energy in the room, the relationship of the wrestlers and the fans, just for that one night.
Oh my God!
RVD is ECW.
Having all the ECW wrestlers doing what they do and having the WWE pumping that out to its crowd, that was like a dream come true.
Come out here, we're gonna have us a beer bash. I think Steve wanted to be there with the rest of these ECW misfits that he used to be a part of.
I look back on that night as one of the truly greatest nights of my career and indeed my entire life. I'm very proud of that event.
You are the craziest bastards I've ever met in my life. I love every one of you.
There's too many people in the ring. I'm like, all right, I'm getting the hell out of here. I woke up and I turn around and Austin's walking down the aisle. I'm like, all right, I'm going to stand here and wait for him.
ECW lives!
And me and him go end the show. I didn't know that was the end of the show. It was just dumb luck. I'm like, well, this is pretty cool.
Well, you can hear the fans here in Ovo Hydro already chanting ECW. That biography, by the way, airs tomorrow night. You think about ECW, like, what do you think about?
Actually, I was at the second One Night Stand they did.
Were
I was
you?
in the crowd, yeah. There's a famous shot of me going crazy when Paul Heyman comes out for his speech. Ironically, he's been a terrible influence on my career for the last several years, but I was happy to see him that night.
Yeah, man, I've had the opportunity to wrestle the Dudley Boys, wrestle Rob Van Dam in South Africa one-on-one. Some of the coolest experiences of my life. ECW, for me, made wrestling so cool. It felt like it was like an outlaw promotion so many of us to this day are massive ECW fans, and ECW forever changed our industry.
Absolutely.
Why do you think it was so popular? Like, we talk about it being hardcore, we talk about it being for a little, extreme, obviously, for lack of a better word. Like, what is it? Because I feel like wrestlers today still try to emulate some of those stars.
I think it's at the time it was so different than WCW or WWE, and it just felt so cool and so edgy, and it was almost like ECW was the underdog.
Right.
Against the monsters, and you always want to root for the underdog.
Yeah, and I think so often our product in WWE and WCW, it's PG. It felt like with ECW, there were no lines. There was no box it had to fit in. It felt like there were no restrictions whatsoever, and you never knew what to expect.
Well, I feel like WWE is kind of like that right now. I never know what to expect, and we have got quite a card here in Glasgow, Scotland, including a triple threat match for the women's tag team championships. Bianca and Jade have only held these titles for 6 weeks, but they already look like one of the most dominant tag teams we've ever seen. But are we maybe primed for an upset here, because they don't have to lose this match to lose the titles?
Yeah. Very much so. Yeah, and I think that's often a trope in the triple threat matches, but it's very real, is you don't have to be pinned to lose your championships. And look, I don't know if there's a tag team, man or woman, on the earth right now that is beating Jade or Bianca, but I think with Alba and Isla coming home, I think that's really going to fuel them. Oftentimes they're not getting a ton of opportunities to be out there on a nightly basis and show what they can do. And tonight, here, coming back home, it's a grand opportunity for those two to demonstrate why they belong at the top of this division.
Yeah, and we've talked at length about how much this means for Drew McIntyre being home and everything, but Drew McIntyre's main event at WrestleMania, he's been huge shows. Alba and Isla have never really had the chance to be on a show.
This could be the biggest match of their career so far,
absolutely
right?
is, and it's in their hometown. That means 10 times more.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler
Sure.
as well. They have been #1 contenders a few times, and they had a pretty dominant performance this past week on Monday Night Raw, defeating Alba and Isla, who told me that they lost because they were saving their best for this weekend. That was their reasoning for the loss. But here is a look at that, because I talked to Zoe yesterday, and she said, we've been in this position, we've been #1 contenders, we've never been able to convert. So tonight is about finally proving that we can finish the job and actually take advantage of being #1 contenders. What do you make of them as a tag team? She is so scary. Miss Limb by Limb over there.
Yeah, they're both pretty terrifying. I think. Yeah,
right?
I'm glad I don't ever have to get in the ring with them.
Yeah, and Shayna, I think, is coming off a disappointment at NXT Battleground as well, in her domain. So I think she has a point to prove. They're both extremely talented, and tonight is a great showcase for them.
It certainly is. A triple threat match is always scary, because you don't have to be pinned to lose the titles.
Yeah, every match is really scary. People try to hurt you in them. Every single
that's
match is terrifying to go into.
Okay. Well, you've wrestled, so I'll take your word for it. I don't
Thank
want
you.
to know from personal experience, that's for sure. All right, let's turn our attention back to tonight's main event. Damian Priest defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Scotland's Drew McIntyre. It feels like an appropriate time to bring in Peter Rosenberg with his thoughts in just a second. See, here, he's ready now. Here's Rosenberg.
Hey guys, I am incredibly excited for Clash at the Castle. Why? Because I'm excited for Damian Priest to prove the haters wrong. There's been a lot of criticism around the World Heavyweight Champion that this title reign has not been enough. How do you shut up the naysayers if you're Damian Priest? You go on the road, you go across the pond, and you face off against the hometown hero, Drew McIntyre, and you come away and still you're World Heavyweight Champion, and that is what I see happening today. I don't know how Damian Priest gets it done, but by hook or by crook, I have faith in this guy. I also think, and this will be a factor in my opinion, guys, there's an immense amount of pressure on Drew McIntyre, not just because he's in Glasgow in front of his fellow Scotsmen, Not just because of that, but because of the amount of pressure that Drew McIntyre has repeatedly put on himself to prove to himself and to the WWE Universe that he is worthy of that massive championship moment, right? He had that opportunity at WrestleMania. It was there. It was in his grasp, and it slipped away, and now there's even more pressure on him when he takes on the World Heavyweight Champion. So I'm leaning towards the guy from New York, the Boricua, who was, by the way, do you see the people cheering for the World Heavyweight Champion at the Puerto Rican Day Parade last week? They're going to be cheering again, and still your World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest. Back to you guys.
What a shock. Rosenberg's going with a New York guy. I'm not surprised.
Glasgow, do we agree with Rosenberg, and do we think Damian Priest is walking away world champion? Do we agree? They do not agree.
Sound good.
They do not agree.
You know, I don't know if you guys saw the kickoff press event yesterday with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, but they were exchanging some pretty honest blows with each other. You know, Drew McIntyre said, my 5 minutes as champ at WrestleMania has been more talked about than your entire reign. And Damian said, you know, you do a lot of talking. It's kind of all you do well at this point. Who do you think is winning the battle of words here in the lead up to this match?
Well, it's funny because in the interview you did with Drew, he talked about how he thought that Damian was kind of playing champion. I actually told Drew something very similar a few years ago, that I thought he was just playing tough guy, he'd come out here, talk with a big, tough voice, but I didn't buy it. I feel like that used to be the case. That's a different Drew McIntyre now. And he's obviously taken his game to a new level. Also, he really likes, we can't say Twitter anymore, it's X.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves X these days.
He's good at X.
Yeah, he's been all right.
Talented.
Yeah, he's not, yeah.
Right. But the issue here is that's not how we resolve matches. It really doesn't matter.
In the face.
Yeah.
And kicks.
Right. Punches, kicks.
Holds.
Holds
moves,
as well.
All kinds of stuff.
All those things.
Right.
That's how you win matches.
That's
yep.
true.
Yep. That is true. It's accurate.
Thank
yep.
you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you agree.
Well, you guys could go back and forth forever on this. Let me
agreeing. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, did I leave you hanging?
You did.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
Unforgivable.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. Drew McIntyre, right? He's done a lot of complaining, for lack of a better word, about some of the things that have happened to him. I heard Cole talk to you guys about everyone kind of gets screwed once in a while when you live in this WWE world. Drew hangs on to it, and he's talked a lot about what he deserves. If he loses tonight, how does he come back from that? Where does he go from there?
If he loses, I don't know if he comes back. He might just stay here permanently, never leave Scotland. It's probably the right move. He's put so much into this. The people are so primed. He is voicing the opening package for the show. This show is built around Drew McIntyre. I can't see it happening, although Damian's going to have a lot to say about that. And I feel like in this whole narrative as well, I feel like we're kind of almost losing Damian, who is our world champion. Let's not forget, this man also has his own motivations. He's been homeless. He's been overweight. He talked about all the challenges he's had in his own life and career. He's not coming in here just to drop the title to Drew. He's coming in here to defend it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we've been focusing mostly on Drew McIntyre in this, I'll shift the focus to Damian Priest a little bit here and say I actually think there's more pressure on Damian Priest because of everything that's going on with the Judgment Day and the fact that if Damian Priest loses that World Heavyweight Championship tonight, it'll be the first time in 441 days that the Judgment Day have not had a single title in their possession. This is a faction that at one point had the Women's Championship, the Tag Team titles, the NXT North American Championship, and the Money in the Bank briefcase, which of course was then parlayed into this World Heavyweight Championship. So for me, you can't say you run Raw if you had all the golds and now you have none. And I think that's what's weighing on the shoulders of Damian Priest going into tonight.
Yeah, I don't think Damian could focus on that and take on all of that on top of defending his title against Drew in this setting. You know, Judgment Day, whatever happens with them, he's got to put that behind him and focus on what matters.
He certainly does. All right, we are getting closer and closer to the beginning of Clash at the Castle as fans continue to file into OVO Hydro Arena here in Glasgow, Scotland. And if you didn't notice, we've been promoting it online all week. Fanatics Fest is taking over New York City this August 15. WWE superstars and legends are heading to NYC to meet you guys. You can meet Cody Rhodes, Liv Morgan, Jey Uso, Rhea Ripley, WWE legends, Hulk Hogan. It's all going down August 17th and 18th. You can get your tickets for the ultimate event for all sports fans and collectors at fanaticsfest.com. But tonight it's all about Clash at the Castle here in Glasgow, and it is a homecoming for one Drew McIntyre.
am from Ayr, Scotland. Ayr is 30 minutes from Glasgow. When you grow up somewhere, you don't realize how special it is. This is where it all began. We were at Anpet Road in Ayr, Scotland. 21 years I spent of my life here before the dream was realized and I was signed by WWE. Myself and a few people started the Scottish wrestling scene.
Me and Drew met each other when we were 14 years old, maybe just turned 15.
You were outside, Drew.
He knew from day one he was going to make something of himself.
Drew McIntyre living his dream here, World Wrestling Entertainment.
That was the dream. But then a lot of things changed. And I was released from WWE in 2014. I kind of knew right away, I've got a game plan. I'm coming back to Scotland. First phone call I made after my release was to Mark Dallas. I was all right, we've got a show in 3 weeks. Obviously, you can't come to that so soon. I was okay, why not? Just keep it a secret. I'm coming back to Scotland. It was a smaller venue in Glasgow, but the perfect place to make my return.
Go away, the lights out.
Oh my God! Jackie Ball match, Drew Galloway!
People are screaming at the top of their lungs.
The Drew Galloway is back!
Listen to this crowd!
It's one of the greatest moments in British wrestling history.
I just told the world, British wrestling is about to explode, I promise you, and I'll do everything in my power to make it happen.
New ICW Heavyweight Champion!
That was such an important time for me, an important growth period for me, and would not have been the same if it wasn't back in Scotland.
He really just gave every show he was on this other level, and then everybody that worked with him another level. He's very responsible for the British wrestling boom that we had.
But the biggest achievement was the Hydro. Not far off 7,000 people were at the Hydro.
I was like, wow, things are really working out right now, and it's because of, the people around me, but also my work. My name was selling so big. I was excited to be part of that show and see just how far me and my mates and this little Scottish wrestling company had gone.
He was the one that led the charge. He was on a mission to prove he was the best wrestler in the world.
I'd keep evolving, keep growing.
Drew McIntyre is here on NXT.
And show everybody who I could truly be.
McIntyre is WWE Champion! McIntyre has won the World Heavyweight Championship!
And now I get to go back to Scotland and show the entire world that I'm the most complete and best wrestler in the world.
The opportunity of a lifetime. Money in the bank. Inside a contract, guaranteed championship opportunity, which will change lives forever.
Get ready for the summer's ultimate heist.
Demand all your gratitude for the leader of Imperium, der Ringgeneral, Gunther!
The mat is sacred.
Buckle up and grit your teeth. This guy is #1 against the entirety of history.
Gunther doesn't concern himself with the spectacle. Gunther is concerned with the Intercontinental Championship and dominance.
The only thing I'm concerned about is not having a worthy opponent to do battle for the legacy of the Ring General.
He has been nothing short of phenomenal.
I elevated this championship to heights never seen before. From this day forth, this title is the greatest prize, the Grand Prix.
There are no ends. There are only means. You are not brave. You've merely forgotten the fear of suffering.
For 451 days, he has ruled as the champion. If he wins tonight, he is guaranteed to pass the Honky Tonk Man, shattering that 35-year-old record.
Offense upon offense upon offense.
And just like that, Gunther continues his dominant march into the history books. The longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in WWE history.
The Ring General has rewritten history.
This is the 23rd King of the Ring tournament. And he has to tap.
I'm in the business of taking hope away.
It's over. Gunther advances to the finals. And the winner of this match tonight earns a championship opportunity at SummerSlam. Gunther went to the bad knee, and now he's got it. Got it. Gunther with the win. He's King of the Ring.
The Ring General became the king of the ring.
The epitome of efficiency and elegance. Your King of the Ring.
This is a dangerous, dangerous human being.
Am now the rightful king of the ring. I had to step up and raise it to levels never seen before.
There's no man like me.
I called you out here to hand you the keys.
No! Don't do this, AJ Styles! Lord Rhodes out here to do this.
I am going to make you say, I quit!
Styles, Rhodes, and I Quit match for the undisputed WWE Championship.
They say a face coming to Scotland.
Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
In more ways than one.
Scotland and the world, are you ready?
So knuckle up and swing away. Let's make some noise.
The Open Championship is golf's most historic major, pitting the very best against nature in all its unforgiving force. Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, and the biggest stars in golf take on all the elements at the Open, which takes place right here in Scotland at Royal Troon, which, by the way, is just down the road from us here in Glasgow. You can see it July 18th to 21st on NBC USA and Peacock. Well, we are about 10 minutes away from Clash at the Castle. We've got ourselves a rematch between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. The question is, who's gonna say, I quit?
Look, I know how you feel. I got played by AJ too.
Give me one more chance to be the undisputed WWE champion.
That chance you're asking for, that has to be earned. And that takes time.
At this point in time in my career, I just can't go to the back of the line. So instead of being the phenomenal AJ Styles,
Maybe I stay at home and be a phenomenal father. But before I go, Cody, please, I just wanted to look you in the eyes and tell you I had one of the greatest matches I've ever had at Backlash in Lyon, France. This is still the house that AJ Styles built. And I called you out here to hand you the keys.
On behalf of myself, on behalf of the locker room, thank you very much, AJ Styles.
We'll finish what we started, huh? Really good. We'll finish what we started.
You ever seen the American Nightmare this irate? Cody Rhodes is looking for a fight.
AJ Styles, get your ass to this ring right now!
You don't want none. I want the WWE Championship at Clash at the Castle.
You got it! But AJ, I am going to make you say what you should have said last week. I quit!
Rhodes said, let's do it in an I Quit match. But Cody doesn't want to wait.
AJ, you're someone that I idolized. You quit on yourself.
You can't handle the pressure. You're gonna be in the ring with a phenomenal AJ Styles. And I am gonna do whatever it takes to get that WWE Championship.
The phenomenal one has become a resentful coward. I have no problem making you say the words, I quit!
Everyone looking forward to that I Quit match tonight. The WWE Universe here in Glasgow is amped up and ready to go. I thought it was loud outside. It is loud in here tonight at the OVO Hydro. Now, I was talking to some of the WWE Universe earlier. Some people driving 6, 7, 8 hours to get here. One guy said he took a 14-hour bus ride just for this historic PLE here in Glasgow, Scotland. It's going to be an exciting night. How are you guys feeling? Yeah? Well, I heard that there's some chants that I can't say because you guys might say something bad, but I'm going to leave it with this. Gi it Yaldi! And send it back to you guys on the panel. All right, Kathy, thank you so much. Well, when it comes to Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, gentlemen, someone's about to get humbled because this match does not end until somebody says, I quit. I mean, how much time do we have in OVO Hydro? Because I can't picture either of these guys doing that.
This may be the only match tonight.
We might still be here tomorrow.
Right. I have a prediction. Much like a 2007 Paul Thomas Anderson film, There Will Be Blood.
Oh,
it's a great movie. Have you seen it? Daniel Day-Lewis?
I have not seen it. I've been meaning to watch it since it came out.
Get around to it. It's a great movie.
It's
Paul
been
Dano as
15
well.
years.
It's great. Anyways, this is going to be a very gritty, very aggressive match. We're going to see a side of these two gentlemen that is going to be very ungentlemanly.
KO, if it was you going into this match against the likes of either of these guys, Cody Rhodes or AJ Styles, I don't know, what would your strategy be?
I'd go for the ankle.
Okay.
Because I feel like you break an ankle, you're in trouble. You can't stand back up. You gotta say I quit eventually.
Right.
Where are you going?
Or a badly stubbed toe as well as
I don't think Cody Rhodes or AJ Styles are saying I quit because of a stubbed toe.
No chance.
I would. Them? No way.
I mean, Cody Rhodes went through a Hell in a Cell match with a torn pec or whatever that.
Yeah, but he never went through a Hell in
was.
a Cell match with a broken ankle. You see what
Guys,
I'm saying?
you know what?
Right?
Touche, sir.
Yeah.
Touche. How about this? And I heard Cole mention it. AJ Styles never had an I Quit match in WWE, but he's had a few of them prior to his time in WWE. He's undefeated in I Quit matches. Is Cody Rhodes potentially bitten off maybe more than he can chew? Does experience matter here?
Well, Kevin made a point earlier about his mom. You know, Cody bringing his mom.
That's true.
That's what makes me worry. Previously going
Rookie mistake. You can't bring family members into this.
Right, not into a match like this.
You just can't point it out. At least hide them in the box somewhere.
Right.
Post about
Don't
it.
post it on X.
On X. But also, here's the thing. Even if AJ Styles doesn't try to use Cody's mom as a way to get him to sign quit, it's another layer of something Cody's thinking about that he probably shouldn't be focused on. You know what I mean?
Totally.
It's more pressure.
All right, well, I have to ask you about the Intercontinental Championship.
Please ask.
Because you talked about it before I was on the show. And, you know, your relationship to Sami, you guys are best friends, besties, if you will, at times, most of the time. Why do you think Sami Zayn has inserted himself into this Alpha Academy drama the way that he has, instead of just focusing on carrying the title that he worked so hard for?
Well, in all fairness to Sami, I don't think he really inserted himself into anything. I think Chad Gable inserted himself into Sami Zayn's business. Because once Sami beat Chad to earn the title match at WrestleMania, Chad never got over it. And I think it was simmering, and eventually, you know, even though Sami gave him a fair title match in Montreal, Gable couldn't handle the loss, and now this is where we are. But I don't think Sami did anything wrong.
Right.
Fair enough.
And I think he does wrong things all the time. But
Would you like to say more on that?
I got so much more to say. But let's let you talk.
And I know Sami as well. He is not a believer in corporal punishment. He saw that belt come out and he said, "Not on my watch. Not on my watch."
Is there a match? I assume you're most looking forward to Sami's match, but is there a match you're most looking forward to tonight?
That's a great question. The I Quit match for me, because it really requires so much of you as a superstar. Being in the ring, any normal match, it requires a certain level of courage and guts. But an I Quit match, it's a different beast. It's a different beast.
And how do you come back from an I Quit match if you lose it?
I mean, if you have a broken ankle, you kind of...
That's
can't walk
so you've really thought this through. You're like, if I'm the opponent, I'm breaking the ankle, but if someone breaks my ankle, it's a perfect excuse. How am I supposed to do this?
Give me an I Quit match. I'm going for the ankle right away.
I'll tell you what, I would actually love to see you in an I Quit match. I think you would go to some extreme lengths. Maybe some flashes of ECW would come out, right?
Yeah, please give me a weak opponent, however.
All right. All right. Well, I think it's almost time here for Clash at the Castle to get underway. You can see it is a packed house behind me here at OVO Hydro Arena. They are very excited as we make history tonight here in Glasgow, Scotland. And we are kicking things off with the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes taking on AJ Styles. Who's going to say I quit?
Go for the ankle.
I called you out here to hand you the keys.
No! Don't do this, AJ Styles! Lord Rhodes out here to do this.
I am going to make you say, I quit.